Welcome back to Film It Friday. My name's Chris. I'm a videographer, photographer, and YouTuber. I make videos every single week about video and photography related content. So if you think that would be something you'd be interested in, please hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode of Film It Friday. Today we're going to be taking a look at content-aware fill. Now this is not a new concept by any means. We've had it in Photoshop for years, but we've just got it in After Effects, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at how well it works. Let's jump into the video. Full disclosure, before I get into this video, I'm not an After Effects expert by any means. I've had it installed on my computer since I installed Premiere, but I've probably only had it open once or twice, and I've never exported a project from it. I'm not an animation guy, I'm not a special effects guy, I'm just a videographer. But I've always wanted to learn, and when I saw that content-aware fill was available for video, I thought this was the perfect opportunity. The process itself is relatively simple, and I'm going to guide you through it step by step, and you can make your own mind up as to whether you think it does a good job. Personally, I think it does a great job. So I've imported a couple of clips. We're going to try it on both and see how it works in different situations. So the first thing you need to do is drag your clip down onto your timeline. For an example, I'm using this drone shot I took of a van driving down a road in Australia. This was when we went a couple of years ago, and it was my girlfriend at the time, she's my wife now, driving the van, and I was stood just out of shot down here. All the examples that I've seen so far, the camera is static and the subject doesn't change size. As you can see, the van does get bigger in my clip, so I'm going to show you how we get around that as well. So make sure you've got your clip selected, select your pen tool, and then you just need to draw a box around the object or person that you want to remove from your frame. So once you've got your mask created, you just need to go to this arrow here on your clip, and then you want to go to masks arrow, and you just want to do that one more time on the mask, and we're going to do it on transform as well. If you head over here, you've got add. We want to change that to none. That way you can see your mask and your subject as we work through the clip, and you can see that by the end of the clip, the van isn't actually within the mask anymore. Now to resolve this, you just need to click this little stopwatch icon, which adds keyframes to the position of these points. So if we move that point, then that's going to keyframe across the clip. Then you want to head down to transform and do position there, and what that does is it keyframes the position of the whole mask. So if we move it around like that, it's going to keyframe that across the clip too. So let's get it back into the right position, and now you just need to work through your clip frame by frame, making sure that the van and the shadow stay within the mask at all times, and if they look like they're going to go off, then we need to add an adjustment. So it looks like this corner is about to go off, so I'm just going to grab that corner and bring it out a little bit like that. There's a couple of different ways you can make adjustments to the mask. You can press Alt and click the mask anywhere when you've got the pointer selected, so the pointer, and that will move the whole mask in its entirety. You can draw a box and that will do the same thing. That will highlight the whole mask, and then again you can move it around. Or if you just click on one of the points, you can extend the mask in any direction. So we're just going to work through the clip and we're going to make adjustments as we go, and as you can see, every time I make an adjustment it adds a keyframe in below. Okay, so we're not far from the end of our clip. Van is completely covered. I'm just going to make it even a little bit bigger. Ooh, so just there, we want to take that out. By doing it this way, you're just putting less stress on your processor and your graphics card. It doesn't have to work as hard, and therefore it's not going to take as long a time to complete the analysis and the rendering. Okay, so once you've done that, you can see the mask is changing size as I scrub through the timeline, and that's all because of these keyframes. The next thing you want to do is, when we changed this to none earlier, we want to change that to subtract. If you don't do that, it'll work hard for about 10 minutes and then it'll fail, as I found out. And then you want to go to Window, content aware fill. Yours might be down here. I've just dragged mine to the side. You want to make sure your alpha expansion is around 3 or 4, your fill method is object, and your range is work area. Press generate fill layer. So this is going to analyze up to 100%, and that black box is going to disappear. And then it's also going to render up to 100%. I'd recommend waiting to play the video until it is rendered up to 100%, and then you won't get any stutters when you do play it back. Okay, now we're fully rendered. I'm going to jump back to the start of the clip and I'm just going to play it for you. Tell me what you think. Put it in the comment section below. Okay, I think it looks really good on the first section. There's nothing to say that there would be a van there. It's really impressive. You do get a slight artifact when you get into this kind of area there, but I guess that's because the clip's coming to the end and it's running out of information to take from. So what do you think? Put it in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that did a good job? I think it did a great job. So we're going to delete this and we're going to start again with a different clip and see how it performs under a different situation. So this shot is just a man walking in front of a tree. This is a snippet from an episode of Film It Friday from a couple of weeks ago, and we're going to try and remove the man without distorting the tree. Sounds simple enough, but I think that tree might cause us a few problems. So again, we're going to make sure we've got our clip selected. We're going to go to the pen tool, and I'm just going to draw a box around our man, making sure that I get his shadow inside the box as well. We're going to go to that drop down arrow, we're going to go to masks, we're going to go from add to none, we're going to go to that drop down menu, select the mask path keyframe, go to transform, and the position keyframe. So they're the two that we need to worry about. And I'm just going to go through exactly the same way I did with the van, and I'm going to adjust the mask to follow the man walking across the frame. Okay, so that's the end of our clip. You can see the mask getting smaller and me manipulating it around to follow both the man walking across the frame and his shadow. I missed a tiny little bit of the shadow, but this is just for demonstration purposes, so it's not the end of the world. So let's take it back to the beginning. We're going to change this from none to subtract, and then we're going to press generate fill layer and wait for that to render. Okay, so just to give you a comparison, the first clip was 1080 and it took about a minute to both analyze and render, and the second clip, this is a 4K clip and it's taken about 5 minutes to do the same thing for about a 5 or 6 second clip. Okay, so we brought our playhead back to the beginning and we're just going to press play. Okay, so there's a bit of ghosting around that rock. Play that again for you. So unless you're looking for it, I don't think you'd see it, but you've got a bit of ghosting. It almost looks like mist. And I'm waiting for it to get to this tree. Okay, so I just saw a tiny bit of the shadow, so, oh, and look, the bottom of the tree is that's kind of a ghosted effect as well, and you can kind of see the shadow, I think. And you see a little bit of the shadow there, and we've got quite a harsh line there in the middle of our mask. Okay, so towards the end of that clip, it doesn't really go to plan at all, does it? I did do it quite roughly. I didn't take my time particularly, and I could have probably got that mask down a bit smaller, but it's good to see how it works in different scenarios, and to be honest, that did a lot better than I thought it was going to do going past that tree. This could be an absolute game changer for videographers if you shoot weddings and you've got quite an intrusive photographer that you need to get rid of, or if you're filming in the middle of the city and you need to get tourists out of your shot. This could be brilliant for you. To be honest, I'm really impressed. I'd love to know what you guys think. If you try it at home yourself, put it in the comments section below. How well did it work? Send me some links. I'd love to see some more examples. So that's content aware fill within After Effects. I'm really impressed with how well it works, and I'm definitely going to be using it when I've got a rogue photographer walking through my shot, or a tourist trying to take a picture or a selfie whenever I'm trying to be out and about filming. I'm going to use it a lot. If you like that video, can you please subscribe like I said at the beginning? And if you really like that video, please consider supporting me on Patreon. You can support me for as little as $5 a month. It really helps me out. I'm never going to put ads on these videos, so I'm never going to make any money from YouTube, so it would really support me. It helps me buy better cameras, better lighting, better audio, and better products to review. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you again next week.